everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Struther.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. The lion. New man looks in so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Struther.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. Ladies and gentlemen, ready or not, here we come. You can't hide. Let's talk fantasy football's gonna find you and give you some of that good news. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know why I'm singing. I lost both of my games this week. Oh wait, I remember.
Don't do
Dave,
it.
Who do we beat, Dave? Who do we beat? Let's go, baby. Wait a minute. Do I have? Oh, yep. Yes, I do. And Sid, I don't mean to do this to you either. Let's go. Yes, the Spencer Hughes household was happier than happy this week. Oh my goodness gracious! How was your? Wait, hold up, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, I gotta introduce my guys. The guy over here got his second bye week of the season as his Dallas Cowboys just destroyed the Atlanta Falcons, much to the chagrin of our friend Anthony Handy. Mr. David, how about them Cowboys, right? What up, Dave?
What up?
And yo, my guy, you've been on my shows, just like Dave. You've been on Nate's shows. You've been on them all, yo, and you still rocking and rolling. And I gotta appreciate you because it was rough. We saw that game against Pittsburgh. Look, the straight steel curtain was tattered after this week, but they didn't lose. My guy, Sidney Swin. What up, Sid?
What's up, man?
Yeah, buddy. Shout out to Dalton Andrews on here saying, how is everyone? Oh, definitely.
Can't beat me, Dalton.
Hey, Dalton, we were all wrong about that trade. You should definitely start Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah. 5 touchdowns. Absolutely crazy. Oh, my goodness. Look, while Dalton's here, let's go ahead and get right on into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and go into our 2 fantasy leagues. We apologize for not being with you last week, but however, you got a treat last week. If you watch Let's Talk Football Roundtable, because we were dropping nuggets left and right. It seems our friend Mr. Swinton has found out the blueprint to beat Lamar. Yeah.
I've been trying to tell people.
Get at it.
Tell them.
Let them know. Let's get it. Hey,
Don't
and
definitely
definitely,
Sean.
right. Hey, tune in because we definitely got Nathan Snell in the background. Definitely going to hit us with some of the things that he's been doing. He's been kind of working with Sid and David and to getting his fantasy league all up and set and ready to go. He's been making a number of trades. He's been going trade crazy. So shout out to him because he's finding this thing out. So yeah, much respect to you. Let's go ahead and get on into it. David, I am coming to you. We're going to talk about Jerry's World. I don't know if I want to because I lost, but it's all good. Dave, what you got for me, man?
Don't stress. Sid lost too.
There you go.
The better half of the Swinton household remains in first place. Been there for a couple weeks now. Ash is sitting at 8-2, and then we've got myself, my brother Dylan, and Dalton, all 7-3 right behind her. Nobody knows how Dalton continues to win matches. The man doesn't score points. It's beyond me. I'm done trying to explain it. Congratulations, Dalton. You're still at the top of the board. Then we got Seth at 6-4. Sid and Sean have reunited at 5-5. They hang out a lot and suck at fantasy football.
Let's
go. We
go.
got Steven and CJ down there at 4-6, followed by the 2 the two family members, one of the Wright clan, one of the Swinton clan, who have basically stopped playing. It looks like.
Wow.
Jason is 1-9, and he's trying harder than both Devin and Ray. All right.
Oh, I feel for you.
Points for Steven, still sitting in first place at 1345. He is one of three people that have all scored over 1,300 points. We then have Ash and Dylan, who are basically in first and second. Bottom three in points for, we've got Jason, Ray, and Dalton.
Oh.
So we have the person in 11th place, the person in 12th place, and then the person in a three-way tie for second place.
Huh.
I don't understand it. Whatever. Dalton, you're lucky. I'm glad Mahomes is on your bench. All right. Points against, we got Steven at 1424. He is the only person in either league to have either scored over 1,400 or had over 1,400 scored against him.
Wow.
Then we got Devin and Jason. All three of them get a lot of points scored against him. And then we've got Dalton, has had the fewest points scored against him in the league. And then we got Sid and Dylan rounding out that bottom three. Couple notable win-loss streaks. Dylan was on top of this league for a little bit. He stumbled, but he's on the comeback. He's got 3 wins in a row. Sean has dropped 3 in a row. Sid has dropped 2 in a row. And I am on a 6-game winning streak.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh.
ESPN is somehow still clinging to Steven with a 95% chance of making the playoffs at 4-6. And they continue to just really not like Sean.
No. 15%. Man, it's ugly. It's ugly.
The top 3, we got Ash, Dylan, and myself, all with 100%. Then we got Seth at 98, Steven at 95, and Sid at 92. Sid is over, let's see, and he would make 6. So with a 92% to make the playoffs, if it ended today, Sid would miss.
I'm 6th. I'd make it. I'm in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm saying on the percentages.
Oh.
On the percentages.
Yeah. Hail Mary's.
Oh, yeah.
It has Steven ahead of you, even though if it ended today, yeah.
I'd be in.
All right. So some of the matchups from this week. Dylan, he got his bye week up against Jason over there. We just can't say enough about Jason all year. The only thing I can laugh at Dylan about is the fact that he started OBJ. That was dumb. Jason, however, started Matt Ryan, who put up a .68.
Wow.
Yeah. I love that you're still trying, though, Jason. I do. Much respect.
Good gracious. And had an empty slotted defense.
Yeah, and he's still going empty slot defense over there.
An old little devil.
All right, and then we had Ash. Ash going against Steven. Ash was the top scorer in the league this week. She put up 153.34. Steven, it's just it's how things shake out, man. There were only 3 people in the league who scored more points than Steven, and he played one of them.
Yeah.
So
feel for you.
For him. Ash almost had a perfect lineup. She only had a single digit score, which was her kicker.
Ooh. Who did she set this week? Oh, she set Kirk. Nice.
Yeah, there was cannot remember off the top of my head who it was. It was pretty minimal though. Like she had her
Brian
best
Edwards
out there.
Yeah, she could have got Brian Edwards in for McLaurin and would have made her another 6 points.
There you go. Like I said, super minimal. She killed it this week. And then so she's 8-2 in this league. He is Sid.
We don't gotta talk about it.
What's Ash's record in the other leagues you're in with her?
I gotta tell you? Do I gotta bring it up?
I promise.
He's like, I live with her, man.
You would tell us.
We're in both of these leagues, and then there's a league with my family and her family. So my parents, her parents, my brothers and her brothers. And currently, so I'm like doing pretty good in that league, thinking I'm all right. I'm number 2. I'm doing awesome. It's like, all right, I got one league I can talk crap.
All right.
No, she's number 1 at 8-2.
Oh my god.
So am I. And we're both 8-2, but she's got a very massive point lead.
Oof.
She's crushing it.
That's the stuff I like to hear.
Oh man, I feel for you, Sid.
It's brutal.
She's beating you in the other league too, right?
What's that?
She's beating you in the other league you guys are in without.
Yeah, I have 2 losses. One of them is to her.
Oof.
Well, Sean and I keep saying it. Whenever she wants to take your spot on the show, the door's open, Ash.
Right.
All right.
Oh,
Let's move over to the loser bowl of the week.
Oh god.
Some strong words for these two gentlemen, Devin and Ray. Now, I had a lot of notes about my brother Devin last week because as we were going through his lineup, I realized that he had like 3 different players who were all out for the season on his bench.
Yeah.
One of them was not even on an NFL team anymore.
He's got a free agent.
Who does he have? Oh, Tyrell Williams. Wow. Filthy bud.
So this week, he goes up against Ray. Now, Devin.
He still loses.
Let's see. He is 2. Who do you have on IR that he started?
Chris Carson.
Carson, yeah.
Sean, you're having audio issues again.
You hear me?
You sound fine on my end.
Are you good?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Good?
Yep. Now we're good.
All right.
So, we got Chris Carson on IR for Devin. And then we jump over to Ray there, who started 2 players that were on a bye week.
Oh.
So I'd like to thank these 2 gentlemen for not giving 2 damns about what they're doing over here. I'm glad you played each other, so at least you didn't give an easy win to somebody else.
Just cancel each other out.
What's funny is even if my dad started people,
That's
he
true.
only gets another 4 points, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, I did see that. If you scroll down and look at their benches, it's not like they had a lot of options. Devin could have put in Carlos Hyde or Liam Hines and still wouldn't have gotten more than 5 points.
Yeah.
It's ugly. It's ugly.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll jump over to Sid, who was facing off against Dalton,
Ooh.
the man we just spoke about. He
Yeah.
keeps edging people out. We don't get it. So Sid, talk to me.
I'll talk to you. You want to know what happened? The Rams ran a fake field goal
Oh.
that would have given me 4 points and won the game. Or Van Jefferson had, I think, 4 drops.
Oh.
Wow.
Couple in the end zone. Any
Jeez.
of those gets me over. Yeah.
There's a third scenario. The one where Dalton left 48 points on his bench, so it doesn't really matter. Quit making excuses. You suck.
Oh, you got Gibby on the bench? Oh, he gave you 21. Oh.
Gibson hasn't scored 21 points in the last
Very
4
true.
games before that combined.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no. And I'm pretty sure he kept starting him, too.
I
And
did.
then he finally benched him, and then,
Yeah.
That's what happens.
I'm like, oh, Gibson's scored less than 10 the last 4 weeks, and they're
Yeah.
going against the Tampa Bay run defense. There's no
Right.
way he's going to do anything.
And he dominates. I can't even believe myself.
Bruh.
Let's go.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right. And then let's jump over to my second favorite game over here in this league. Sean, what happened, buddy?
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I didn't listen to you in the beginning of the year, Dave. You talked about Kyler, and that is rearing its ugly head right now. Kyler being out. I've had a love-hate relationship with Cortland Sutton. You know.
Yep.
Jordan, I jumped on the Jordan Howard train, and he gets decent points. But look, ever since the injury, Waller has not been the same.
Yeah.
Teddy's Teddy. We know what he's going to give us.
10 points.
Yeah. And I seriously did not expect the Saints to do as well as they did. So I got 5 points there. I mean, which is definitely a help. But, oh, man. Oh, I could have started Bateman. No.
My favorite part of this matchup is that CJ, the incredibly predictable and obnoxious homer that he is, got 67.2 points from his New England players.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, CJ, for riding the Mack Jones train all year, waiting for it to finally pay off a little bit for you.
Wow.
And then he's got, who else? Jacoby Myers and Ramondre Stevenson.
Yep.
That made up like half of his points.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I love it because he's going to just ride that train the rest of the year, and he's never going to get that production again. At least you have the good sense to bench Kyler Murray in this league. But we'll talk about that later.
This is the second week in a row that I've dealt with that issue. Kyler is just, for however great he did in the beginning of the year, Kyler is struggling right now. Let's move on, man. Let's just move on. I can't talk about this.
All right, and then the as much as I'd love to sit here and talk about you guys losing, we got me versus Seth, and I ran away with this one once we got to the Sunday night game. It was a close match throughout the day. He had me a little worried, but when you're getting 75 points from your running backs, all three of them, Darrell Williams just brought this thing home for me. I've really struggled with my quarterbacks over in this league, and I had actually picked up Cam Newton, just whatever, in case I had an open roster spot, and then the next morning I had to drop him because Kamara was listed as out, and I went and got Ingram, and he was available. And he was not available in a lot of leagues. So I really lucked out over here that Ingram was there and I was able to get him in there because, as you can see from my bench, I wasn't going to be getting much help from down there. I did whiff on Donovan Peoples-Jones, though. Put him in there over Jarvis Landry. But, I mean, the Browns just absolutely getting bent over by New England was not something I saw coming. So.
Yeah,
sorry, Seth, but also thank you for starting DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, D-Hop, that's another one, man.
Why do people keep starting these players that are not playing?
Because they sit there and they say before the game, all the way up to the game, they say questionable. What last week I sat there and had like right before the game started, I was like, all right, let me change it because I don't know if he's gonna play. And then I wasn't able to get him out in time, or the options that I would have put in for him were not going to be great. So I've dealt with this issue.
All right. Well, that's what we got. That's what we got for this week. I believe for next week. I believe Sean and I are playing in this one.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm excited for that because Sean always whips on his quarterback start.
Dag on Kyler. Look, they're saying he's in here too, so I can't even believe that. That's
Oh, great! And Ash is going to be playing Ray for another layup next week. Maybe Ray will start some more players on a bye week. Who knows?
Oh God!
And Sid gets to play Devin. So the Swinton house will be feasting on the inactive fantasy managers in both families.
Wow.
That's all right. We play each other the following week, so.
Oh, you and Ash?
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's going to be a good one.
I like it.
I will not be giving out.
Over to Jerry World?
Yeah, we're in Jerry World. You mean Let's Talk Fantasy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
I just like Jerry World. I always want to be Jerry World.
Not a fan of anything right now, except my team.
Hey,
Oh my God! Do we have to go to this one? I didn't realize I was 2-8.
I'm excited for this one because every single week Sean says something to us when we go through the rankings. Every single week, he has his silver lining on his record. Well, folks, he no longer has it. Sean is dead last.
Oh my God! Now look, Dave, we do have to. We talked about Ash and her dominance in the other league. We do have to bring in a special guest. As you can see, this lady is. Oh yeah, she's here, undefeated, top. She's been sitting at the top. She's on a 10-game winning streak. Here we go, Delilah Crespo. What up, Delilah?
What's up?
What up, girl?
Hey, what's up? I'm actually happy that in the other league I have at least 3 wins now.
But that don't matter. Yeah. That don't matter. We don't talk about that league over here. So
I know. It's just funny. I was just laughing. I was like, "Oh my God!" Because I don't even pay attention to it anymore. I just set it up, and I'm like, "Whatever." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Let's go. Nicholas saying, "What's up, boys?"
Honestly, this was like, I really should have lost this one for sure, man. Like, all my studs were like just play dookie, man. Like,
I really thought there was a once the game started, Stafford threw 2 picks, won a pick six. You needed, and you had Stafford and Cooper Kupp.
He's the one who won it for me, to be honest. It was really him.
And you were down 35 points. Before the game, oh, she's got that. The way that game started, I really thought there was a chance you were going to drop one. And no, sir. The lady remained untouched.
I was ready. I was like, all right, whatever. You know what? I had a great, I was ready for my, my speech and everything. I said I had a good run. The streak is over.
Let's go.
But that was all Cup because he's the one who kept he didn't get a touchdown, but he had 122 yards. So even though Matthew wasn't on his game, Cup still was.
Cup did it. Yo, shout out to Nicholas Rosario saying prediction. Big Nick will make the playoffs. He's calling it now, ladies and gentlemen.
Now this coming week I actually might go down because I'm losing Cup and Stafford, and Chubb still isn't back from whatever, from COVID protocol. So.
Wow. Actually, David, do we even need to go through this league? I don't know if we even need to go through this league.
I just realized. We're going through.
Okay, Dave. What do we got, Dave?
Nick's predicting his playoffs.
We'll see. Right.
Nick needs to start talking about practice, all right? So we got at 10-0. We got myself at 7-3. Daryl and Brandon Davis 6-4. Then we got a 4-way tie. We got John, Sid, Ash, and Brandon B all at 5-5. And then Nick at 4-6 on a 2-game losing streak. ESPN is giving him a 10% chance of making the playoffs.
Oh my goodness.
Don't talk about Sean's percentage. Don't say it.
And then we got Ferg at 3-7, Bobby at 2-8, and Sean. Sean is now the sole owner of the 12th line on the league standings. We're all very proud of him.
Even Bobby has a 1% chance of making the playoffs. I have nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Right. Tiny bit. Let's go.
All right. So I'm going to run. We don't even need to go through that. Let's get to the matchups. So we kind of talked about it. Delilah's matchup. She took it 102.92 to 96.9. Bobby showed a little life there for a couple weeks. He was scoring big. He lost Derrick Henry, and Delilah just walked up to his broken, bleeding body on the ground and just stepped on his face.
Golly. Wow.
But look at, do you see, if you look, all my big studs did not play that good. Honestly, it was Ingram who came to break his record, right? So he could be the best. And Nova.
John, nothing. Oh man.
That's what I'm saying. I honestly, that's why I said. But if you look at Bobby's bench, he would have kicked my butt if he would have put any of those bottom guys up there. I would have lost. If he would have put in Jefferson.
Yep.
Jefferson or he would have won.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a couple. He left a couple points on the bench, but I believe Delilah did as well.
Yeah, but not as much because even my backup sucks. See what I mean?
Who's the starter? Who did he start? Matchdown. Wow. Oh, Baker did better than Matt.
Yeah,
wow. Not many weeks to say that.
Right. How often can you say that?
Not often.
I've said this.
It's annoying to hear people say, "Oh, well, the Baker's better," and I'm like, "Shut up." So Matt had 2 bad games. You're gonna say Matthew Stafford is worse than Baker? Get out of here.
And shout out to the other dominant female in the fantasy leagues.
Hey, Ash, I made him talk about it. Anyway.
Good God.
So Delilah's here. And now that
is she coming on? Is she coming on too?
Get her in here.
She's got the kids right now, so
she missed the league she wants to talk about. But I've been saying this all year, and I just want to give the credit where it's due. After the draft, I've been saying all year that Delilah was going to take this thing. You've got her roster up right there. Delilah, with the 12th pick in our draft, put that team together. Absolutely killed the draft and has not looked back. So.
No, and I've been switching. Obviously, I've had to drop losers, add losers. I'm gonna have to do that again.
Still not number one.
But I'm not because I'm winning.
Oh God!
I'm 12 on the waiver line, so I gotta wait.
I was looking. It shows the moves that we've made. I've made 28 moves since the draft started. Delilah's made 3. That's how good she is.
Wow.
I don't know. I just saw
assassin.
it.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if you did it right the first time, you wouldn't have
there's
doing it.
If your team's not good, you don't have to draft.
I need someone for, I need someone to pick up the slack for Matt. He won't be there, and Baker's not that guy.
He doesn't need any help anymore.
Wow.
I need someone for Coop. We'll see.
Does she have stuff?
If Nick Chubb, are they saying he's coming back from COVID?
Oh no, this is the week to beat Delilah.
Oh, yeah, this is it. If it's gonna happen,
this is it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it might be. But is Chubb coming back? Because he was only on COVID protocols 10 days, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
It was funny after you won last night, Delilah. I couldn't believe it, and I was like, and she only scored 102 points.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Never gonna catch up. I was like, I wonder, like how many weeks I beat.
Baby chair, you're taller than me.
I went back and looked at every single week of the year, and just for the record, if I had played Delilah every single week, I would be 2-8.
So is that who I've been playing all year? Secretly?
It's been me the whole time.
Just sad.
2-8.
Wow.
I've
Okay.
I've just been the wizard behind it all. Like,
oh my goodness.
All right, so let's jump over. So Big Nick over there predicting his playoff hopes.
No.
Scored 80 points this week.
Ooh.
Oh no.
How'd Lamar do?
Oh. Wow.
That's tired.
God.
Bobby's in the chat. What up, Bobby?
What up, Bobby?
Bobby, I'm sorry. You should have whooped my butt. I'm sorry, man. Seriously.
Get it.
Oh no, sorry.
I would humbly accepted defeat because my team was worse, but I don't know how I did it.
Wow.
And then it got late, and then I went to bed.
Oh yeah. Nick is he said he's coming back. I don't know. He's got a good lineup, but
however, he let's just say this: Nick played a guy who only had a single 20-point score, and he still lost.
Good old Nick. Starting McKissick and Freeman. So DK, what's going on with DK?
He's just. But I don't know, man. I still would be hesitant to give up on him, though. I don't know. I would hesitate on that.
I think we got a question about that later that we're gonna address.
Oh yeah. Nick, we want to see if you can make the playoffs. All right, what you got next, Dave?
Then we got John versus Ferg. Now, John was damn near just inconsolable in the group chat as the morning game started. He thought he was going to drop another one. He had been predicted to win the last 3 weeks in a row, and he kept losing. He was super down, and he ended up just absolutely spanking Ferg.
Ooh, John.
John. Woo. I'm glad he got a win. Not against me.
I am too. That's good.
Yeah, he definitely was in that group chat, like crying. I was like, "Well, look, you're actually killing him. What are you upset about?"
John was the lucky winner of the Matt Ryan sweepstakes this week.
Yeah. Look at that win. How's that working?
I know we weren't here last week, but for everybody who's curious, Matt Ryan was actually my waiver pickup for you. I'm really happy it turned out this way. John isn't. And Ferg had a 23-point swing on defense.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, the Browns for -6 versus the Niners for 17.
Yep. 23
points.
Wow.
It's going to save them, but that's a lot of points for picking the wrong defense.
All right.
Which is why I
decided to show up this week, Mr. Robbie Anderson.
Ooh, he's coming back. Okay.
That bum.
2 weeks in a row.
Year.
2 weeks in a row, he actually put up a couple points.
Damn. I had him. You know what? Let's go. Let's go, Dave.
All right.
The quicker we get it, the better.
Ash going up against Daryl. Daryl with
we can skip this one.
What?
We don't have to talk about it.
Now, Ash told me that when we were talking about this before, I believe it was in the group chat. She told me she cannot go empty slot on defense. She just refuses to do it. She'll take a bad defense.
Oh,
even if it's -7.
The Raiders.
Hey, is somebody got a dying cat? What's going on?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's my parrot. No, it's my parrot. I have an African gray parrot, and they basically mimic everything. And so when she wants, she just starts
yelling
saying random sounds. Yeah. So.
Does your parrot talk?
She does, and then she does. It's like they mimic every single sound. So she talks or learns like these weird other sounds that she just randomly says whenever she wants. So yeah.
I was gonna say, if you can train her to give waiver picks, she can be on every week.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious. It'll take a while, but maybe. That'll be hilarious.
Wow. You know, and shout out to my brother, because he definitely called me out of the blue. Like, I haven't even talked to him in a while. And he was like, yeah, you see fantasy? You see what I'm doing? I was like, really, bro? Really? You don't talk to me for
glad
nothing.
I could bring it back together.
Right.
Okay, but if my defense, it doesn't matter. Like, even if I would have had 0 on my defense, I still would have lost.
Yeah, because
I know. I just,
not having one wasn't better than playing that one.
No defense is better than the Vegas defense against Kansas City, though.
Okay, no, that's not true, because Patrick Mahomes has been throwing interceptions like crazy. They haven't been scoring a lot. Vegas' defense hasn't been doing bad.
yeah,
-7.
Well, and you have a point.
While she's here, Michael Gallup versus was it James Washington over in Pittsburgh? We had the conversation in the group chat before the game started. Sid was pushing Washington. Washington did outscore Gallup by 2.3 points. Neither one of them broke.
Like a wash.
So I'm calling the whole thing a wash.
Yep.
I'd call it a wash if I lost 2.
Right.
Okay, well, let's see. If I had those 2 more points and didn't go negative, would I have won?
Just because you still lost doesn't mean that's debate isn't.
I mean, yeah, it was a better. I made the wrong decision, but it wasn't that.
I never picked a side on that, for the record. I told her it was a coin flip. But I like the fact that I didn't realize that Mason Rudolph and Washington played in college together. So.
Where'd they play at, Sean? I think you got that jersey.
Oh, yeah. Oklahoma State, baby.
There you go.
Right there. That's right. The Cowboys.
All right. We'll
Get it.
move over so nobody has to look at that -7 Nash's defense. We got Sean.
Hey, I had the Raiders defense in my league, too, and I still won. And Cindy still didn't go above me. I'm still number 1.
Wow.
Hey, it's all love, Ash.
Even
We
with
still
a
have points.
negative defense.
Wow. Oh, well, we looked at mine. Let's move on.
So, Sean,
I
buddy.
mine. We have to sit through yours.
Oh, God.
You got it.
Who'd you play?
I got Kyler. Oh,
No,
my cousin, Brandon.
Oh,
Brandon
okay.
So this is what I wanted to say when we were over in Jerry World was at least you sat Kyler in one of your leagues. For some inexplicable reason, you decided to start him over in this league while sitting him in the other league. Would you like to enlighten us as to your brilliant fantasy managing strategy?
Listen, okay? I've been trying to work it out. I already told you. I've been riding with Kyler. In this league, I took your advice, and I tried to ride with my one QB to save up other spots. This QB has not been playing, and I don't have a backup. And I'm not trying to bring on a backup it's just going to be like garbage for a week.
Okay, stop. We say you ride one quarterback unless they get injured or on a bye. You don't run empty slot at quarterback.
Hey. It said questionable. It said questionable every week. It said questionable. If it's questionable, there's a shot.
On his bench, you would have been willing to drop.
He should have dropped the Rams defense. Started the Cowboys defense that's on his bench.
Oh.
Yeah, that worked out.
Yeah, that definitely did not. That's a
kickers. You don't need 2 kickers.
Do I have 2 on here? Young
You
Ho.
could have dropped a kicker.
Oh, Boz. Yeah, and Boz actually did pretty good. Look, Young Ho has been producing up until this
That
week.
is my kicker. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a man.
Young Ho. But look, guys, like I told you, okay? I sold everything, including my soul, for the Washington win over the GOAT. All right? I took an L everywhere else, but as long as we beat the GOAT, there it is.
Oh, man.
You sell Chase Young too?
Oh, God, yeah. That was
Hey, he said everything.
Yeah.
He sold everything.
So are you
Sean
going
made a
to
deal.
are
Sean
you
made
biting
a
the
deal with
bullet and
somebody.
get a quarterback? Because Kyler's not coming back. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to. I'm absolutely going to have to. But at the same time, I mean, 2-8. How far up are we going to go? You know what I mean?
The goal now is just to knock people like David down.
Hey, look, we can work something out. Look, I will sell to the highest bidder. All right. All right, Dave. Let's move on. We can't anymore. This is
All right. This next one's actually my favorite match of the week. It's going to be me and Squiddles over there.
oh, Squiddles.
All right. So Sid left a lot on his bench this week. He did.
Oh, you can have me for making a bad decision for 2 points, and you're over here leaving points on the bench? Absolutely
My
not.
favorite part is he left Fryermuth on the bench for Hawkinson.
Yeah, TJ Hawkins.
You
He started the tight end who was playing his team and benched Muth.
Look, hey,
Ooh,
look.
You deserve
Yeah,
to lose.
exactly.
It's
I mean, I
not.
would probably never bench Hawkinson for
Uh,
Pat.
No wonder I was like, oh, I like how they're using Cam Newton. And then you're like, I don't. I didn't realize you started McCaffrey. It makes so much sense now.
Yeah, David's a hater.
Absolutely.
Straight up.
Absolutely. No disagreement there. I did, however, leave Darrell Williams on the bench. So,
Yeah, 34. Yeah.
Okay, those Kansas City running backs have been so just inconsistent.
I really wanted to get Jerry Jeudy back in. So I went 3 wide receivers instead of 3 running backs, which I don't generally do.
Yeah.
I ran 3 running backs in the other league. Darrell Williams as my flex, and it paid off big. Over here, Jerry Jeudy, I got 11.1 from him, so yeesh.
He outscored the counterpart on my team, which was Cortland Sutton. So that's a win.
Go Cortland. He's actually on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Good old Cortland.
You guys love your Denver wide receivers. And
You're literally starting him.
Right.
second time all year.
Okay, because he's been hurt.
Yeah, I
He never got on the Tim Patrick train. Always said something to us about it.
Yeah, I just really wanted to talk about Tim Patrick. I got some notes on Tim Patrick once we get to waivers.
I feel
There
like
you
you're
go.
more fascinated about. You're the one that's talked about him the last 3 weeks. I don't think we've
Right.
talked about him.
Wow.
Well,
I'm really bad to see, really happy to see CMC back though.
yeah, for sure.
It's the first time since week 1 I've had the man in my starting lineup, and it feels good.
Yep.
He's gonna carry me all the way to second place behind Delilah.
Behind Delilah. All right, man. What do we got coming up this coming week, man?
All right.
Let's see who we got.
Oh, me and Bobby.
At 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Let's go, Bobby. My time is now.
He's got CeeDee Lamb, and he's been killing it. So I don't know. You got to figure out how to beat him.
Yeah, and he got.
I'm gonna
Jamar
laugh
Chase
if Bobby
coming back.
beats you and pushes you further down the ranking, being in last place by yourself.
It's not happening. I'm gonna come out of the basement.
We play people.
Here we go.
All right. Well, hey, John Linney is a super unpredictable team. He can put up big points at times. He will be taking on Delilah. Delilah, we love you, but we will all be rooting for John Linney.
I know.
Yeah.
Get it, buddy.
It's okay.
Let's go, John.
I'll still be in first place. It's okay.
Oh,
At this
yes.
point,
Doesn't
I
even
feel like
matter.
Delilah is rooting for herself to lose because she's too nice to beat everybody this badly.
Destroying.
She's just going to throw like an empty roster up one of these weeks because she feels so terrible.
And still win. All right. Probably play me and still get the W. Good
Oh
gracious.
my gosh.
Then we got Sid going up against Daryl. We got Ash going up against Brandon Davis. Nick is going to be playing Brandon B. And I get to beat up on the other Steelers fan in here. Should be a fun week.
Go Ferg.
All right. Yes. All right, Bobby.
Oh my God. I was getting so confused because I always forget there's 2 Davids in that group chat, and I was like, who are they talking to? And I was like, oh.
Bill Ferg.
I always forget that because he only pops in like once in a while, and then I'm like, then it's like, oh, okay.
I was gonna say you can always tell it's not me because I don't say good things about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right, yeah. He definitely does. He definitely goes hard for his Steelers, let me tell you.
Well, I don't know if it's like sarcasm sometimes.
Oh my goodness. All right, I can't. I'm done with this. This is
Mostly because then I look at the pictures and I'm like, oh, that's David. And then it shows you, oh, David Wright. Okay, got it.
Bobby. I'm coming for you, Bobby. Look, Dalton said I offered you Patrick. Oh well.
For you, Patrick.
Let's go, Dalton.
I might be interested in oh wait. Tim Patrick or Patrick Mahomes?
No. Tim. Or maybe no, what Patrick? Didn't he offer you Patrick Mahomes in a trade or something? Good old Patrick. Oh my God! All right. Fantasy has been awful.
He was due a good game though. You know it's gonna come. It was gonna happen sooner or later, and it just happened on Sunday.
He did his thing. He did his thing. Yo, oh my goodness. All right. If I'm going to continue on the show, I need to stop paying attention to these garbage teams that I have. We need to move on. I want to take a minute to say thank you to Delilah, the host of Varsity with Delilah, ladies and gentlemen. We will be on a little bit later for the round table. Appreciate you, Delilah.
Love you, Delilah.
Yeah. All righty. Stop sharing.
Are you guys going to be talking Lamar Jackson on the round table tonight?
No. Well, hey, look. The Bears play the Ravens. So you already know Nathan's most likely going to come on that one too. So we'll see how that one goes.
I'm actually really excited for that matchup.
Tell Nick to send Nagy my game plan.
And I promise, if you guys come on the show, you will be allowed to talk this week. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. We're going to go into the waiver wires. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, it's getting close to the end of the year. A lot of the picks that you made, unless you're Delilah, a lot of the picks that you've made are making right now could be the difference between playoffs and me. So you don't want to be me. If you're above me, you're doing good. All right. Let's dive into it. Waiver wire. Sid, I'm coming to you. What you got on the waiver wire, buddy?
All right, man. So we missed last week, so I tried to pick up where we left off. My quarterback last week was Jimmy G. Garoppolo, I thought they were going to have to throw a lot to keep up with the Rams. Turns out their defense did plenty of that for them and the running game, so they didn't need Jimmy G, but I do like him going forward. They just got so many weapons. I think he's viable. The other quarterback, I think, is Mr. I'm Back.
Yes.
Cam Newton. I think he's gonna. They're just gonna. I mean, him and McCaffrey have so much chemistry. I like him as a fill-in. They are preparing him as a starter all week. So if he's a go, even if he's not a go, he's almost like their touchdown machine. So he's still gonna get some points. Hey, it is what it is.
Remember, he's playing Washington this coming week.
And it's always start everybody versus Washington. That is the fantasy game plan. And then for running backs, again, I had Ramondre Stevenson for last week with Damian Harris being injured. And it looks like he is the man. He stepped up big time, and he looks the part. So I'm even with Harris coming back or not, I think Stevenson is a massive pickup going forward if you can get him. The other one I have for running back is Dante Pullman. The Titans running back, he seems to be the guy that they like more. They played him. He had more snaps than Adrian Peterson and McNichols. McNichols is the third down guy. Adrian Peterson's the short yard guy, but Foreman is their every other down guy. So he's going to get the majority of the carries, I think. So I like him a little bit.
Okay.
As for receivers, I had this dude last week, and he had another touchdown. So he's still available in a few leagues. Elijah Moore for the Jets. He seems to be he looks very talented. And I know the quarterbacks for New York aren't the best, but he's still, I think he's going to be I think he's the most talented receiver. He looks the part. Yeah. And he's been getting the target share. So I like him. And then, Darnell Mooney for the Bears. I think him and Fields I was during the Steelers game. They were talking about how Mooney was the one that stayed after practice with Fields to get, his reps in and get him better when Fields was still the backup. So him and Mooney and Fields have that chemistry already built. So he's going to be his favorite target. And I think that's why Robinson hasn't been what he's supposed to be. So I like Darnell Mooney. And then the last receiver, if Claypool misses again for the Steelers, Ray McCloud, he had 8 catches versus the Lions. So he's apparently that step-in role because everybody's going to cover Deontay with everybody out now. So Ray is the one that stepped up and made the connection with at least Mason. I think Ben likes him too. And they get him in a lot of jet sweep options. They just like getting the ball in his hands. He's our returner, so he's electric if he can get it. So I like Ray McCloud. For tight end, available in a few leagues, I saw was Dan Arnold. He should be a viable option. Again, we talk about it all the time. Tight ends are so hard to find. If you get somebody that gets a couple catches, you like it. So Dan Arnold's definitely one that I saw that I would pick up. And then the other one had a monster game. Hunter Henry. Him and Mack seem to have the connection, and Mack looks for him when he needs him. So Hunter Henry was available in a couple leagues I'm in. So if he's available in yours, I'd definitely go look for him. And that was everybody I had listed.
Nice. Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties there. Who are the names between Cam and Mooney?
Ramondre Stevenson, Dante Pullman, and Elijah Moore.
Yep. As usual, Sid and I have pretty identical lists. I am disagreeing on the Cam pickup. I picked him up in one of the leagues we're in. Immediately had to drop him the next morning to go get Ingram because Kamara was out. And after I actually went and looked at it a little more, his next 4 weeks are against the Washington football team, Miami, a bye week, and then Atlanta. So you're going to have to wait 3 weeks before you get a good matchup from him. I don't like it. Washington is missing their 2 edge rushers. We were talking about this before the show. Chase Young and who else are you missing?
Montez Sweat has a broken jaw.
That is gonna help Cam a little bit, but if there's one coach in the league who knows how to shut Cam down, he's playing in this week. Ron Rivera is not going to let Cam get much traction. So I really don't like the Cam pickup. He is available in 12.5% of leagues. However, so if you're desperate, he's probably there. Tua's been my quarterback going forward for the rest of the year, solely based on schedule. For the rest of the year, they only play 2 teams that are above 500, and one of those teams is 5-4. They do have to play Tennessee. That's the only real matchup they have for the rest of the year. And as long as he can stay healthy, I like him to put up decent numbers. 35.6 ownership there, so chances are he's available as well. After what we saw yesterday, I think for this week, Mack Jones, go get him if he's out there. Go get him against that Atlanta defense. I think this kid is going to ball out. I think the running game is going to have a very big day in New England, but Cam's going to get his looks. We saw him make some throws last week those were grown man throws. And obviously we all know what the Atlanta defense is about. So go get him. I still like Mike Johnson. This was his first week in single digits since week 4. And that was coming against Buffalo. He put up 8.8, and they play Miami this coming week. We both had Dante Pullman. If Cordero Patterson can't go, Wayne Gallman is very interesting simply because Mike Davis's usage has been declining every single week. Obviously, Cordero's the guy, but Gallman gets targets. He's only owned in 0.6% of leagues. So if you have a roster spot, I would go and grab him and just wait to see what happens with Cordero Patterson. Rashad Bateman, we've talked about him over the last couple of weeks. I think he's a great pickup this week. Chicago gives up lots of points to wide receivers, and I am hoping that these defenses just have mediocre games and that these 2 quarterbacks just get into an absolute duel. I would love to see a high-scoring, exciting game that really pushes Justin Fields further and further in the right direction. Dan Arnold's been my tight end pickup for the last 3 weeks. He was my tight end last week, the week before, and I'm keeping him. He's had at least 7 catches and 60 yards for 3 straight weeks. And like we say every week, like Sid already said this week, hard to get production from tight ends. I am going to own my terrible call last week. Matt Ryan was my waiver quarterback. That didn't work out so well. And as I'm real happy about it, but I'm gonna own that real bad call. I also really wanted to talk to you guys last week about Tim Patrick because this conversation goes all the way back to I think it's like week 3.
Yeah,
but
what happened week 3?
Guys, I told you guys that I did not like Tim Patrick as a waiver pickup because I didn't like his schedule going against Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Las Vegas, Cleveland, and Washington. Those were the games that I called that I did not like. He put up 3.9, 8.9, 10.2, 1.6, and 6.4. In fact, his only decent game all year was against the Cowboys, and that absolute just fluke of a game. Congratulations. I was right, though. Tim Patrick, complete bust in most of these games. And that's what I got.
I like that.
All right, I got a couple of things here for you because I think you might be looking at the wrong Tim Patrick. Since week 3, he's had 6.9, 15.9, 13.2. Last week against Dallas, he had 18.5. The week before that, 9.4. And the reason we told you to pick him up in week 3 is because that's when Jerry Jeudy went down. Judy's back. Drop Patrick. Yes, it was in between where he went 6.9.
I hate the fantasy app.
Exactly. Don't come at me, David. You were not correct. You
were wrong. You were wrong.
He had 3 games under 10 points, 4 games over 10 points. We said he was a fill-in, and he filled in. And the other thing,
busted. And one of those over 10 was against Dallas. Like, get out of here.
Who cares? If
He
it
has
was
not
against,
been. And no, you kept calling increased production. I know exactly what happened, though. Those numbers that I pulled were from the ESPN app, and those morons over there default to non-PPR format unless you're looking at players from within your team. So, yeah, my numbers were incorrect, but yes. Tim Patrick was not been the guy that you guys said he would be. So stop.
He gets the job done.
He's had 3 games under 10 points all year. Actually, 4 last week. All year. Every other game, he had more than 10 points. Every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games over 10, 4 games under 10.
3 under, 4 over.
4 under, 6 over. All season.
4 and 6.
To the losing end. So he went 6 and 4 to the winning end.
What was his highest point total? Outside of the Cowboys game.
15.9.
And then?
14.8. And then 13.9. And then 13.2. And then 12.7.
So he scored over 15 points twice.
Okay. He's not Cooper Kupp.
And he's damn near 500 just to get double digits.
He's not going to go for that.
He's not the guy.
He's not Cooper Kupp.
We can move on.
Calm down. We're not saying that. And then the only other thing I had to say about your list of players is Mack Jones only threw 189 yards in a blowout win when they scored 41 points. I like Mack. I think he's the man, but Bill Belichick is going to run the football first and throw when he has to.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, but I don't think he's
word for word. I said that the running game was going to have a great game, but that Mack Jones was going to get his looks because that Atlanta defense is so bad. And we saw Matt. That's exactly what I just said. Get out of here, Sid.
Hey, Nick, can I talk? I mean, David, sorry.
No.
Wow.
That's literally what I said.
Was talking, sir.
Was that the running game was going to have a huge day for New England, but Mack Jones was going to.
Let me talk.
I really like.
He needs to reclaim his time.
Still won't let me talk. They are going to run the football first, going forward. Mack Jones is the guy, but he's not going to throw unless they need to. And I don't want my fantasy quarterback being second to the running backs. And that's all I'm saying. Mack is very capable, but he's never going to put up 40 points, 30 points, 35 points, nothing like that. That was my argument. Nick, if you would like to talk, the floor is yours.
You made my point for me. He's a great streaming quarterback for this week if you need one.
Oh, almost like Tim
Mack Jones for this week.
Oh, okay. Almost like Tim Patrick when we said his name 5 weeks ago, and we haven't said him since.
Yo, we've got to move on. Oh, my goodness gracious. I love when we can have a civil debate where we somewhat hear each other. Yo,
this is civil.
Right. Yo,
come over to Sid's next Sunday.
Yo, hey, that's right. You just have to just videotape that. I just want to see y'all going at it. That's Yo, we have to move on, and my guy Nathan Snell is in the back row. Okay, he's helping. He's at work right now, so he's helping some students. So he'll jump on with us in a little bit. Dave, he did send you his questions that he had, correct?
Yeah, we got him.
You got him? All right, let's. Do we want to go ahead and start breaking that down a little bit until he gets on here?
Yeah, we do that. You want to go to Nathan's questions?
Oh, he's not here. Oh,
Yeah.
I got you.
He's still at work. He's in the background, but he's got to help some of his students real quick. So he said he's going to hop on when he's good.
All right, let me get I'll pull those questions up for you.
And then
All right,
Ash-
he's got a couple lineup questions.
Hmm.
Myles Gaskin or Damian Harris? I know which way I'm going on that. We just had that conversation. I'm Damian Harris all day. I think the running game over there, as long as Damian Harris plays, as long as he's good to go, then I'm starting him over Gaskin. Let's see, we got who's Miami playing? The Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Gaskin could do work over there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going Gaskins for a couple reasons. Because I think Tua is going to be a guy that throws the ball a lot more. You were just saying that how you like him as a quarterback, and Gaskin as a receiving back, which is going to be huge for PPR standards. And then the other reason is I think Ramondre Stevenson is real, and I think he's going to steal a lot of touches that Harris had, and he's not going to be the main guy going forward, whereas Gaskin is going to be the receiving back for them regardless. Damian Harris doesn't catch the ball a lot. His big thing was he got a lot of carries and got all the goal line carries, but I think Stevenson's going to step in and steal a lot of those from him. So I think Harris is declining and Gaskin is going up. So I like Gaskin.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I got to agree with you on that. And it goes back to your point. I think Damian Harris is just too many mouths to feed. And then you have, you see what Ramondre Stevenson did. And, at this time of the year, if you can get that job done, you're still going to use the running back system. But at the same time, like you said, Stevenson is definitely moving up on that depth chart. And look, Gaskins, now he didn't do, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he blank this week? Did he not score anything this week? But
that's my, yeah.
So you have that. You have that possibility.
Earlier in the year when Damian Harris and Stevenson were sharing time, Harris was still getting all the goal line work. He was getting all the touchdowns. Stevenson was putting up yards. Stevenson did get. I mean, he had a huge game this week, and I actually believe he got a touchdown last week when we weren't here.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked Harris early. We had the conversation about Harris and another running back a couple weeks back. And I liked Harris because he was getting all the goal line work, and that could change coming into this week. So Gaskin might be the safer option.
Yeah, not only does Stevenson threaten the goal line work, but the emergence of Mack Jones also threatens Harris's goal line work because now they trust the play action or the pass to Hunter Henry and whatnot on the goal line. They don't have to stick to the run game.
Right.
Very
So
good.
we all said Gaskin, correct?
I think David went Harris. And
I leaned Harris. We talked it out.
Right.
I'm going to go Gaskin. After looking at what Stevenson did last week, I think Sid's right.
Okay.
What was that one more time?
No, the what's that?
Can you say it again? I didn't hear you.
I said the smartest. Actually, what changed my mind was the smarter of the two fantasy Swintons.
Oh, good gracious.
I was watching her face as we went through the argument. She likes Gaskin. So I'm on Gaskin.
Wow. And join us next week as we have our new host, Ash Swinton and Delilah Crespo.
Yeah.
As all three of us are out of a job.
I'm not good in the Let's Talk Football League.
Hey, and Delilah's got her parrot who's going to be giving waiver wire picks, and you guys can have Shy.
I'm terrified of birds. I'm out.
Yes. Never forget the first time I heard that. I was like, "What is happening on your end?" She's like, "No, it's just a parrot." I was like, "Really?" Trying to get in the conversation, but look, got to appreciate you being in here with us, Nathan Snell. We touched on one of your questions, Gaskin or Damian Harris. I think we all think David came around to it, and we're all going Gaskin. But you had a couple more questions, Nathan. What else you got for us?
Let me go back to my questions.
Tannehill or Mack Jones?
Yeah.
This one's tough. This one's tough for me. Because
who's Tannehill playing this week?
I
think it's I want to say it's Atlanta. I think.
I got money on him, so I'm expecting him to win.
Houston.
Houston.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tannehill.
Tannehill.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you got to go.
Who are the Patriots?
I have Tannehill in like 3 leagues, so I trust Tannehill as a fantasy quarterback. He's very underrated. Nobody thinks about him when it comes to fantasy. I think Derrick Henry go down only helps his fantasy status. He is a very underrated runner as well. He gets a lot of rushing touchdowns. He gets like 5 to 7 a year, which is really good for fantasy value because rushing touchdowns for quarterbacks are worth more than their passing touchdowns. And Derrick Henry going down, obviously they're going to have to lean more on Tannehill, which is hopefully a good thing. It's yet to see if he can carry a team without Derrick Henry. But we were just talking about how we do like the come up of Mack Jones and his potential. I think Tannehill has a higher ceiling. Mack has a higher floor. I think that's my take on it. So I'll go Tannehill. If I'm picking one of the two, I'm going Tannehill. But I don't think you're in a bad boat if you start either one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to go Tannehill, and the reason being is because, like we talked about, Mac Jones has that 3 running back system in there, especially with Harris coming back. And look, like you mentioned this, they scored 45 this week, and Mac Jones had 150 some odd yards.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So,
right. So and he got the win, but in fantasy regards, he didn't do that great. And the fact that Tannehill, like you said, he does run the ball. He is, if not their primary runner, he's one of their number one guys now that Henry's out. And I think that Tannehill is just going to be leaned on by Tennessee a little bit more. But what do you think, Dave?
It's tough. Tannehill's scored over 20 points twice all year. If I have both these guys,
Mac has 1 over 20 all year.
That's what I got right here. 1.
No, I'm saying Mac Jones. So Tannehill has 2 over 20. Mac has 1 over 20.
I can't hear you again.
Sorry, Mac has 1 over 20. You said Tannehill has 2. Mac only has 1 over 20.
Got 19.9.
I can't hear anything you guys are saying again. Hold on. I'm gonna have to exit out and come back in. I'm taking Mac Jones as a gamble. I think I kind of disagree with Sid with the floor and ceiling. I think Mac could have a higher ceiling because Tannehill's a known quantity. We don't know how good Mac Jones could be. Yeah, Belichick's going to run the ball. He's going to play real safe. But I also don't think he's going – I think he wants to see exactly what Mac can do in the game as well. Against a team like Atlanta, I'm going to roll the dice. I think that Mac has the higher ceiling in this game, and Tannehill has the higher floor because Mac could come out there feeling himself after last week and make a couple really terrible throws. It could happen. He's a young quarterback. But I'm gonna roll the dice on Mac Jones having the better game this week.
Yeah. Real quick, we got a question from the fans. Isaiah Alexis said, "I traded Michael Carter, Corey Davis, and T.J. Hockenson for DK and Waller."
You are currently losing that trade because Michael Carter has shown out. Corey Davis has been okay when he's on the field. He's been hurt a couple games, and then T.J. Hockenson getting the goose egg this last week. Before that, he had 3 games in a row over 10 points. So, I trust Hawk going forward. But DK has been on the decline, and Waller has not been the same since his injury. I do think – so this was another one of Nathan's questions was if he should trade DK, I believe.
Yeah.
So I do I can kind of answer both or comment on both of those right now. I think DK is actually going to get better with Russ coming back. Obviously, DK with Geno Smith wasn't the connection, and this first week back with Russ, all of the Seahawks got blanked, so it wasn't just DK. I like DK and Russ going forward. I think he does start to produce more, but as of today, you did not get the good end of that trade. I think going forward, you could be okay as long as DK and Russ get back on track, and that's my take on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. We talked about a couple of weeks ago when I had the opportunity to pick Russ up because he was on IR and somebody dropped him, and I didn't, and you did. I am just very iffy on the Seattle offense this year. DK's little meltdown during the game the other day. I don't like anything about what's going on in Seattle right now. Russ isn't himself. Obviously, he's coming back off the injury. You could be looking at another 2 weeks of rusty Russ, and that I would have to look at their schedule, but that offense could be sputtering.
They play Arizona, Washington,
Russ
San
is
Fran,
Russ.
Houston.
He's always going to. He will get back to form, and whether or not he can connect with DK is one thing, but Waller's kind of been a disappointment at times. So
recently.
Yeah, recently, definitely. What'd you say, Nathan?
I said Seattle schedule. They play Arizona, Washington, San Fran, Houston, Los Angeles, Rams, Bears, Lions, and the Cardinals. That's Seattle's remaining schedule.
Yeah, they have a tough schedule, but Russ has always been able to outperform their schedule. So I don't really. If Russ can get back to form, I don't really. It doesn't matter to me who they play, but it's only if he can get back to form. And I think that's what it comes down to. It's if you trust Russ, Mister. I'm training 19 hours a day to rehab my finger to get back into the NFL. I think he gets back there. It might take another week or so, but I think I trust Russ. We've seen him long. He's been in the league long enough to where I think he can overcome it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like that. Real quick, Matt, one of the people saying, "Yo, what's going on, Matt? Do you guys think Kamara plays this week?"
Who do they play? I don't know. I don't know too much about the injury he has. I know Mark Ingram stepped in and did well. So if they
play the Eagles.
Yeah. So I think if he's 50-50 or if he's not 100%, I don't think the Saints are going to push him. I don't think the Saints. I mean, they're 5-4. They have a chance to make the playoffs, so they might rush him back. But but Ingram stepped in and played well, so I don't think they need to rush him back. If Ingram didn't have the game he had or whatnot, maybe they would have pushed it. But if he's not 100%, I can definitely see them waiting one more week to get him back fully healthy.
It's exactly why they went and got Ingram. Yeah, I don't see any reason, even if, like you said, possible playoff push might rush. I don't see any reason to rush him back because he is the one bright spot they have on that side of the ball. We just saw it with McCaffrey. Oh, they brought him back off IR, and then immediately he goes back on because he wasn't ready, and they know that if they lose him, you got nothing else.
Right.
So I don't see Kamara playing. But I drafted Ingram, I picked up Ingram last week, so I'm not too concerned.
Right. Shout out to Matt who said Russ will bounce back this week, I think. And it was freezing in Green Bay. And that was a rough first game back from injury. Yeah, especially an injury with your hand. I know that's definitely an issue. Nathan, what else you got, man?
Trading in general, and also too.
I agree, Matt.
Moves with my roster. So
say that again. Say that again.
I said how to trade better in general.
Okay.
How to trade better in general.
Yeah.
I got a couple. I mean, it's all personal preference. So I got a couple things I wanted to, when I first read your question, that I wanted to highlight. The way of going about trading, being in 6 different leagues. So I do approach the trade different in each one. It depends on a couple different factors. If you personally talk to everybody in your league all the time, that's easier I would approach them directly and talk, hey, are you looking for a trade? I'm looking to get this position, blah, 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 and just kind of communicate back and forth. Whereas I am in some leagues that I've been in the league for 10 years and I don't talk to half the league anymore. So I don't really have a communication. So I'll just send trades and try and see if they take it or counter or anything like that. That doesn't always work. It's a harder way to do it. But sometimes that's the only thing you can do. And then there's a lot of people that don't like to make moves. They kind of draft their team and that's who they stick to. So you can't really trade with those people. That's just kind of a broad statement looking at trades when it comes to fantasy. Now, the strategy point of it, when you're looking to make trades and better your team, I always look at the strength of my team versus the weakness of my team and try and use the strength to better my weakness. So, for example, earlier in the year, me and Ash made a trade actually, and
I don't want to talk about it.
Collusion.
I had
No, it wasn't. It was a good trade. Well, I lost now, but
so one of my strengths on my team was I had depth at receiver. I had about 4 or 5 guys that I could start any 3 of them any week. And so I don't need that until it comes to bye weeks and injuries. So I wanted to package a couple of those to go get a stud receiver. And that's what I traded. It was Robert Woods, who backfired now, and T. Higgins for Stephon Diggs. So it's two like second tier guys for that top tier guy. You kind of package them together because I had the depth on my team at receiver, I could do that to try and get a better player. Now you could do it the other way, whereas like if you're really weak at running back, but you could even do like Cooper Kupp or Deebo Samuel, Tyreek Hill, like a top guy, and trade him for like 2 second tier running backs. So you want to turn 1 great player into 2 good players that are going to start for you every week, or vice versa if you have the depth. So that's kind of how I approach it. You got to look at your team specifically before you go look at other people's teams, because you got to know who you want to give up and where you want to improve before you go and try and just get random guys because they're doing good type thing.
try to look at other teams' weaknesses too.
Love that.
And that's it. And the same thing, because the way you think about it, if you're trying to improve your team, they're going to think about it the same way. So you look at their team, hey, they got a lot of receivers, they'll probably give one up a little cheap, so I'm going to go and target one of their top guys for a couple of my guys, or same thing, if they have a weakness at running back, offer a running back to pick up some of their receivers, just kind of like that. You got to really look at the strengths and weaknesses of yours and their team.
Absolutely. Sid nailed it though. Communication has pushed more trades through than anything else. Opening that dialogue, it's true for all forms, like all walks of life, whatever you're doing. Good communication, knowing the person that you're talking to, knowing their tendencies, knowing exactly what they want out of this deal, and whether or not you have the means to give it to them. The biggest thing that I learned so far in fantasy and making trades is that no player on my team is off limits. It's just, can you give me enough for that player?
Right.
Always be open to any and all ideas. Don't just shut a trade down and say, no, they're not available. Open the dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, well, what do you have in mind? Rather than somebody coming to you and saying they want Cooper Kupp, instead of just being like, nah, get out of here. Okay. Well, what are you willing to give me for it? Open that dialogue and keep the ideas flowing. And by the end of it, you may have negotiated Cooper Kupp out of the deal and found something else that he wanted for something else that he had. Right. Just communicate and never just say no. Always be open to anything. In the end, you can, decline. You're not agreeing to anything right up front, but have the conversation.
Yeah, and I think anytime somebody sends you a trade, always counter. I mean, they might not take your counter, but counter to like something that you like. I mean, just to, because then that also starts the dial, because that's what I do in leagues that I don't talk to the people. I'll send a trade. Sometimes they'll counter, and we'll kind of go back and forth until we kind of find something. And you can tell what they want or what they don't want by how they're countering. So if they keep not putting people in that you're trying to get or that you don't want to give up type thing, then you kind of learn where their head's at that way too.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the end of the day, like they said, like talk to them, communication, make sure it's beneficial for them. You know what I mean? Obviously, we want to get certain players, or I want to get this guy, get that, but make sure that what you're giving them is actually going to help, because that will help you to actually move the trade along. You know what I mean? Not like, and he mentioned Cooper Kupp, like, when I was sitting here like, oh yeah, I'll give you Cooper Kupp for Carson or something like that. Obviously that's stupid. You're not going to do that. But if I were to sit there and say, all right, well, Cooper Kupp, and maybe you need a running back, and I'm like, oh, well, I got Kamara, I got a couple of guys over here. We can work something out and keep going back and forth. And that does two things. Number one, keeps the line of communication open. And number two, it doesn't just cut things like right away. Not like, oh, okay, now I'm never going to trade with you again. Now we're constantly communicating and talking. So definitely do that. Want to hit some of these people in the comments right now. MPX1606 says, "Are you guys high on Gibson?"
I benched him this last week. Obviously,
I have that same
everybody
question.
knows. So it's so hard because Gibson, I loved going into the season because he seems to be the guy that they lean on there, but he just has been underwhelming. I think it might have been injury related, and I'm hoping that the injury is in the past and he's kind of getting his legs back under him. I'm going to start him again this week. Obviously, he played great against a great run defense, so I think I'm back on it. He's not quite to the Miles Sanders point where he's got the talent, but he's not producing. I don't have him there yet, but he isn't who he was drafted as of right now. Hoping he gets back to that level. So I'm not high on Gibson, but I'm not low on Gibson either just yet. I'm not giving up.
Yeah. Be very careful. Be very careful, guy. That there might be fool's gold. Okay. For those, I mean, hey, Sid, you tell him you have had Gibson all year, and he is, underachieved. McKissick in that offense. I'm a diehard Washington fan. You guys know McKissick in that offense takes carries from Gibson. But if we run kind of similar to how we did, where we do a 19-play drive and kind of chew the clock and run the ball, then yeah, this could be beneficial because the matchups that we have coming up are very beneficial. Now that Carolina matchup might be tough with their defense, but you got Seattle in there, you got the Raiders that just got torched by KC, and then we got that 5-game divisional stand where we're going to play. So Gibson, I think, is going to get some touches down the stretch and definitely help you out. But last week was fool's gold. Okay, I sold my soul for the victory. Dave, what do you think, man?
Definitely not high. I mean, this was a nice little glimmer this week, but I think we all know that this week was a fluke for the Washington football team to beat the Bucs like they did, just like last week was a fluke with the Cowboys losing. The Washington football team, they're just going to break hearts. Gibson is a serviceable bench rider. If you, oh God.
Let's go.
We do have going forward. The Cowboys twice. Probably our biggest weakness on defense is our rushing game, our running defense. They play Philly twice.
Yep.
Who else do you play, Sean?
Dallas twice, Phillies twice, New York. We play Carolina coming up, and then we have I think Seattle on Sunday Night Football. And
so there's
the
only one defense in there I would be concerned about as a Gibson owner. So not high, not low, just it's Washington football.
Middle of the road. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wait, what? No. You know what? I was looking on to the next one, which is more the same. He's saying, would you rather have Gibson or David Montgomery?
Easy.
I'm going Gibson.
Money.
I'm going Gibson. I think.
A bad take.
Let me give my answer.
That's a bad take.
You're not gonna be invited back, ma'am.
You can smack him, Ash. We don't mind.
I would go Gibson because of how Herbert stepped in for Montgomery while he was gone. I think he has, just like the Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris thing. I think Montgomery is going to share a little time coming back from injury with Herbert because Herbert did his job and he looked good doing it. I think he's earned himself some playing time, whereas Gibson is still the guy. McKissick's the third down back, but Gibson is the goal guy, the every down back outside of that. So that's the only reason I go Gibson. I like them both really going forward, but I have Gibson over Montgomery.
You're going to bench Montgomery to play Gibson?
Yes.
I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to look at their points the next couple of weeks. So I can come back and be like, that was wrong.
Wow.
What'd she say?
She said she's going to write it down. Yeah.
Come back to that in a couple weeks.
And be like, told you so.
Wow.
I'm definitely David Montgomery on this one. It might be a little slow in his first week, maybe 2 back, but he is definitely the superior back there. And Khalil Herbert, he did okay, but I think Montgomery's the better back.
Yeah, I think, like I said, go ahead.
We're good.
You good?
I was just going to clown Washington football again.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Cut him off.
There we go. Yo, so Nathan, let's give you a shot at this, man. With everything that we've talked to you about, you know the 2 players, Gibson and Montgomery, with the injury issues. If you had to pick one of the 2, which direction would you go in?
Antonio Gibson.
Any reason why?
So this is 3-2, right? Ash and I both took Montgomery.
Roll your eyes up forward.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
It's a toss-up, but like Anthony Gibson's going to get, I would say he's going to get more touches than Montgomery. And Antonio Gibson's been playing a little bit better, and Montgomery has missed quite a few games. So,
Oh yeah. And I think at the end of the day, Herbert being in, but also the fact that Justin Fields is more of a mobile quarterback, and as they start letting him kind of open up that offense, I think that's actually might be a detriment to Montgomery. Just it might take some of his touches away. But one-on-one, I think Montgomery is better. But in this situation, I think Gibby's going to get a lot more touches coming down the stretch. Yeah. All right, Nathan, do you have any more questions for us real quick before we hop off? Good to go. Nothing. All right.
I just don't know if I should play Carter or T. Higgins.
All right, Ash got a question.
What you got?
All right. Carter for the Jets or T. Higgins
for Cincinnati?
Normally, I go like whoever's projected to score more. I'm like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You're projected more, so I play them. But I don't know.
Well, Michael Carter versus
Miami.
Or
T. Higgins versus the Raiders.
Yeah.
They're coming off a bye.
Who?
I'm going to go. I mean, so while you guys think about it, I think I go T. Higgins because the Raiders just got lit up last week. And Bengals coming off a bye, they got to prove something. I think Joey Burrow comes out slinging the rock. And I think Michael Carter has played better than he is the last few weeks.
Yeah, he started off really slow. In the last few weeks, he's done really good.
I think he's gonna pull like a Mike Williams. We talked about that like a couple weeks ago. Mike Williams started to regress towards the norm.
Yep.
He started off super hot. He's not that guy, and he's kind of come back to earth. Or I think that's kind of where Michael Carter is. Michael Carter's had a few good weeks, so everybody's really high on him. And I think he starts to come back to normal, down to earth. That's my opinion. But
no, I probably need to do this.
Oh, that's what you definitely need to do. Never
What
mind.
you got?
We have Michael Gallup starting. We're gonna put T. Higgins over there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm trying to pull it up. I'm trying to pull up some stuff and look at their recent weeks. I think the Cincinnati offense rolls coming off the bye, so I would trust somebody in that offense over somebody in a broken franchise going against a Miami defense that's riding high. That would be my thought process on the whole thing. But what are you doing now?
Should I play the Raiders defense again?
Oh.
That's a joke.
Didn't you already learn?
I'm trying to pick up somebody else in the waivers, I promise. But I'm not going empty.
No, she said so on the T. Higgins Michael Carter thing, that was for flex, but she had Michael Gallup starting. So she's gonna put Higgins over Gallup and keep Carter in the flex.
Okay.
Is Logan Thomas ever gonna come off IR?
That's our Washington.
What league is this the LTF league?
Yes.
Yeah.
We should talk, yeah.
Let's talk. Yes. Hey, my 2 cents.
There's that communication.
Right.
I'm generally one that just shuts it down, though.
My 2 cents. I always go with Mr. Michael Carter from the University of North Carolina. All day. There it is.
You guys got shoes for
You're
everything.
biased.
Yes, I do.
This guy's got shoes for everything.
I have Christian Kirk too, though.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Oh man! All right, look, we yeah, no, we have no more questions out here. Appreciate all the people that were watching. Avon, Hachette, MP 1606, Matt. A lot of you guys came in here, and with Isaiah, Alexis. Appreciate you guys hitting us up with questions. Hopefully, we answered them to the best of our ability. Real quick, before we get off here, we do have to come with the bet of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that love gambling or those of you that lose gambling, this guy, F college football. That's all I'm going to say.
Don't love losing. It just happens.
All the daggone time. Good gracious. Yo, we're in here. Sid, I'm sending it to you. What is your bet of the week?
I like it because David is the one that kind of I literally had it already written down. Ash can affirm, but David boosted this guy up, so now it makes it even better bet. I'm going Mack Jones to have more than 252 yards passing this week. David likes the matchup. I also like the matchup this week. So I was gonna go with his over yards. I've been trying to mix it up, do something different every time, and I don't think I've done a quarterback passing yards yet. So that's the one I'm going with on Thursday.
I like that. Ash, do you have one? I know you also.
She pulled up her betting app. She's got like 17. She's gonna start through.
You already ready?
I only have one bet for this week.
So far.
I only have one for this week. It's just my Moneyline Parlay. I got the Patriots, Titans, Packers, Ravens.
So yeah, Moneyline just means they win straight across. They don't got to cover any points. So she did a parlay. All 4 of those teams to win: Patriots over the Falcons, Titans over the Texans, Packers over the Vikings, and Ravens over the Bears.
Ooh, nice. Dave, what you got?
Ash is gonna love this one. So player futures, you can go in and
all my futures.
bet on player awards, MVP, whatnot. Both Ash and I, we both have $100 on Micah Parsons to win defensive rookie of the year.
Wow.
And that's going to be paying out pretty well for the 2 of us because it's a lock. The kid's going to get it.
Oh my goodness.
If you've watched him play,
It's even close.
absolute animal.
These deluded Cowboy fans. Like good gracious.
So that's my bet of the year.
No.
Because I also put like $25 on the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. I'm liking that one more and more as the weeks go on. It was a homer pick to start the year. It could pay off. We'll see. But Micah Parsons about to be paying Ash and I.
Oh, I like this.
Yes.
Just to give you a little tidbit on Micah Parsons, Chase Young won Defensive Player of the Year or Rookie of the Year last year with 6.5 sacks. Micah's already got 6, and he doesn't even play outside linebacker like that. So,
and we have defensive ends going down, and put him in at defensive end.
Exactly.
And the man he's a game changer, absolute game changer.
I got to shout him out, man.
Much love to Chase Young, though. Hope you get better soon, man.
Yeah.
The only thing about the Washington football team I got mad love for.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Thanks, Dave. Hey, look, I got to shout out Michael Parsons. I have to, man, because he was the only player that showed up to the Broncos game where you guys didn't score until the fourth quarter.
His guy.
Let's go.
I would have held up my "How about them Broncos," but Ash ripped it up after the show. So
Right to the trash.
Oh, my goodness. I feel for you, Sid. I feel for you, man.
I got it.
Oh, man. Look, like I said, I do a little bit of college. I do more of lineups. A couple games I want you to definitely look into this week. Friday night, Memphis playing number 24 Houston. That they both average pretty high scores. Michigan State versus Ohio State this week. I think that's going to be huge. And SMU playing Cincinnati. So I think I'm going to have a little share in each one of those games. Not to mention, I think my Tar Heels are playing this week. No, Wisconsin, Nebraska. I think that's going to be a nice one. I think it's going to be a nice one. So that's what I got for you. Everybody good? Good with that? Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we want to take a minute and say thank you to our guests. We had Delilah Crespo. We had Nathan Snell. And you see who's there next to Sydney Swinton. Miss, how about them Cowboys also?
Yes.
Let's go.
I'm just glad she missed us.
Going to the Super Bowl.
Gracious. Good gracious. Well, hey, look, I wish the best for you until you play us. All I do know is one of us beat the GOAT. That's what I do know.
Hey, and
I'll worry about the actual Super Bowl, not.
One of us beat the Broncos.
You're not even. And neither one of you are even going to win your division.
Hey, take it easy there.
Hey, I got money on the Steelers to win the division. So.
Right.
It might happen, but we don't say it.
Right.
God.
Yo, hey, we appreciate you being here with me. All right, Dave.
Get him
All
up,
right, man.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I had technical difficulties. Yo, we have to let you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, stay tuned. Probably about an hour, we'll be doing Let's Talk Football, the round table. The invitation is always open, guys, if you guys would like to come. And I promise this week you'll be able to talk. Yo, got to shout out my guys that are here with me. Mr. In front of the steel curtain. It's a tattered steel curtain after they tied to the lines, but it's still there. Sydney Swinton in the building. And definitely got to shout out his better half. Oh, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Much better.
Oh, this is awful. All right, man. Technical difficulties again.
Yeah, exactly.
And look, my guy down here, Mr. David, how about them Cowboys, right? Yeah, buddy. Hey, look, we appreciate you being here with us. Hopefully something we said or did helped you out this week. And best of luck to you in fantasy. We will be back with you next Tuesday, 6 p.m., same time, same place. Appreciate you guys. Peace. Yeah.